today's video I'm going to talk about benefits of Hitoemi. Hitoemi is a word that is often used in Iwama Aikido because I suppose the learning of the weapons enables us to see this Hitoemi position, especially with the Bokken, and I'm going to show you what Hitoemi is. Something which is not discussed very much in Aikido, and I think it's not a criticism whatsoever, it's just an observation. I think this could be due because the teaching of the weapons is not emphasized as much as what it is in Iwama. So when we do Bokken Suburi, especially the second Kensuburi or the sixth Kensuburi or the seventh Kensuburi, there are elements of Hitoemi positioning of the body that is ever so emphasized, and I just want to point this out. In the previous video as well, I talked about getting to the center of uke, and what I mean by this is actually the positioning of a foot is always pointing towards uke. The footwork is shaping a triangle, and your body is part of that triangle shape. So you see this triangular shape pointing out this way. So whenever I'm moving offline, I'm still pointing towards uke in a triangular shape. So whether this be sideways, it's still pointing towards uke. So the triangle is there, and the Hitoemi is a positioning of the body that makes the triangle thinner and more like a deep arrow. And I show you the example. So first, this is a normal kame. The Hitoemi kame is more shoulders going forward. So you have a twist of the body, but the foot is still pointing out here. And what that does is just avoids a target by just a few inches, but because of a twist, you have a deeper reach. So if I just picture here a line, and I'm just standing here, and I draw a fist, there is one range. But if I twist into Hitoemi, you get the extra range. And this is quite important because when you're facing square with no hamni, you have this range. When you're into kame, you already have a deeper range. So you're getting towards a person and they can miss you. So you could get there with Hitoemi more so. So this is a very important emphasis. So when we do the second Kensuburi, there's that Hitoemi emphasized here. Stepping back, Hitoemi here already, avoiding, and even here there's still a slight feeling of Hitoemi. It shouldn't be just cutting straight like a first Kensuburi. So when you do the second Kensuburi, you're avoiding Hitoemi, and you're also going as far as you can. So you twist, but twisting, you can see the ken is moving forward more. We're talking about a few inches that make a massive difference. The Hitoemi is emphasized also with the thrust. So when you do the sixth Kensuburi, you already do Hitoemi. So this feeling, cut, thrust, you pull your left hip to the side. That is what shapes the Hitoemi. Hitoemi is used with specific techniques. For example, Irimi Nage. So somebody punches or does menuchi, the grip. Hitoemi is emphasized right there. So we have this Hitoemi fill-in here, from here, and then we can do Irimi Nage. Uchiro Ryote Dori. There is also a fill-in of Hitoemi when you step to the side. So it isn't just here, but it's Hitoemi here. When you do Hitoemi here, you affect Uke's partner more because you're drawing from the hips. So there's nothing from the hands, and that is a mistake. Sometimes I see this hands. You could do it if somebody is a lot less strong than you, but if you're meeting somebody way stronger, you need to use different strength, and that strength is fist, hips, twisting, feeling, and then under. That kind of power is different. This is what makes Aikido truly different. With the Hitoemi, the moving of the body and the extra reach. Hitoemi is a very useful position that really draws an advantage. I remember when I used to work as a door supervisor, or people may call bouncer, is often I would stand in that position of a hamni. And I know it's quite interesting because when you're standing square, you're actually challenging the person more because it's a bit more confrontational. But when you're standing to the side, your center is already away from him. But what is interesting is I already have that which, by simply touching or pushing him, pushing anyone who may come to attack. So I know, because of a triangular shape, I have the extra reach and they're not aware of that. If I just stand square, my reach is limited, so he can get me as well as I can get him. But here, I know that by standing this way, is I have the extra reach and he doesn't. Try that with a partner. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that with someone else because I don't have another partner. But the positioning, the body positioning is making a whole difference. So in Aikido, we learn the emphasis of a body positioning with a ken. It's when you're doing a thrust, for example, from the 7th Ken Suburi, and you do Hitoemi already here. Hitoemi, cut, and thrust. The thrust is done in a manner that you're positioning your body to it. So when you're thrusting, it's no longer a thrust with the arms, because a thrust with the arms, when you reach a target, it could pull back. But when you're thrusting with your hips, it's stuck. So it will definitely go through, thanks to the body positioning. So when you're having the body posture, it makes entirely a whole new dimension. You're thrusting and you're feeling very strong because you're twisting your pelvic in a manner that you're drawing the Hitoemi position and you emphasize that with a thrust. If you're thrusting without the twisting of the hips, you get something like this. First, you may think it's square, thrust, and thrust here. It has nothing to do with the arms moving. It has got to do with the hips moving. So you've got to find that positioning. You draw back, Hitoemi, into that thrust. So this is the feeling of it. Once you've got that, you also have the front foot pointing towards uke. Hitoemi, right here. Hitoemi now. The foot is still pointing towards the uke. Ken no kamae, front foot pointing towards uke. This is important. Front foot pointing towards uke. Yet, it's Hitoemi. First, cut, front foot pointing towards uke. First, front foot pointing towards uke. And you have that Hitoemi positioning. So, I hope this video shows you the distinction between a normal kamae and Hitoemi positioning, which really helps in Aikido tremendously. There are various techniques where the Hitoemi is emphasized, so we can get a better answering. It's always from the body movement. If you do Aikido with the hands, then it's physical Aikido. If you do Aikido with the hips, you begin to do something more internal. The hands are merely following where your hips go. So if you think about it, I didn't do that. I just twisted my hips and I kept my hand in front of me. By doing that, I realized it's the hip turning, not the hand doing the movement. And it's ever so emphasized in some of the techniques. For example, Ryote Dori. This feeling. It's not this feeling, but it's always in the hips. Twist. Hips make Aikido very powerful. In fact, any martial arts, whether it's karate, when you're punching with the hips, it makes the technique very, very strong, because you get the power from the below up through the hips, channel through that one dot. And it's the same in Aikido, one dot power. That's one aspect of it. It's you do the physical movement, but you put your mind, body, spirit into one, and you get something extra, something where the power is greater. I hope this video has been useful, and for those who may not understand what Hitoemi is, I've done a good job explaining the emphasis of the turning of the hips. Thank you for watching.